Good afternoon again, and thank you for being on here. We appreciate you for being on here. We're just going to wait for some persons to get on. Okay, we see people are coming on. People are joining us live. Great. So, hopefully, they'll think they knock us off and they'll leave us alone for the rest of the night, thinking that we're down. So they won't do this again. It is absolutely despicable and sickening how this government is trying to silence the truth. We saw before election, we saw that Philip Brave Davis was sending letters to Facebook to shut down certain pages and to attack certain people that he didn't want to tell the truth about him. We saw that. We saw him writing certain news media to tell them to stop talking about him because he didn't want people to know about who he was and about his track record, while having his trolls go out there and attack and spread lies on everyone. We saw how before the election he paid off. Well, he recruited, I should say. I say it differently. He recruited persons in the media to work with him, and after election, all of these persons were rewarded with positions and jobs, etc. That is what happens in a totalitarian state, authoritarian state, dictatorship. The first thing you do is you silence the media and you silence the voice of the people. And that is what has been happening in this country. And so they've silenced the media. You've seen that the media pretends that we don't exist unless something negative happens. They will not run a story by us. We can put out a press release and they won't put it out there because they don't want the truth to get out there because it will empower the Bahamian people. And if you don't wake up, your country's going to be lost. I'm going to show you some things today that's going to blow your mind. More of our keys are being sold. While we're worrying about the Haitians, more of our keys are being sold. I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to break it down for you today. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. Take a minute, tag them, share. Let's get this message out. This is the only way we're going to get this message out. You have to participate in this. And so before we get started, I'm gonna see who's on here and where you're tuned in from. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. All right, let me know where you're from as you're tagging your friends and your family. Go on WhatsApp and share this. Go on Messenger and share it. Share it on the different pages so people can know that we're live. They've also stopped. A lot of people don't get the notification when I go live now. All right, so let me just get to this first. I see Carmichael Road is in the house. Okay, Miss. Let me see. Let me go elsewhere and see if I can see. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Let me go. All right, Carmichael Road. That's Daphne McKenzie is in Carmichael Road. Thank you for tuning in. I see Genovia Adley there saying share. Jacqueline Williams is in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Williams, Patricia, what is that? Denise is in Nassau. Thank you. Cool Acres. That's Patrice Knowles. Um, Dre Roberts is in Marathon. Thank you, Dre. Diane Smith is watching from Freeport. Thank you, Freeport. Brenda Ferguson is in Marco City. Greg Christie is in Houston, Texas. Taniko Gordon is watching. Rudy Bethel, these devils at work. Yes, the devil has a job to do, but we also have a job to do. And he don't sleep. That's why we don't sleep. And he has hired his imps that we know as the leaders of the PLP and FNM. Paul Major is watching. Thank you so much. Coretta, Dean, McIntosh in Abaco. Thank you. Ileana Farhado is watching from Miami, Florida. Thank you, Ileana, and welcome. Joe Boss. Joe Boss is watching. He's talking about the keys. Mildred Miller is also watching from North Andres. Sea Breeze in the house. That's Portia Edgecombe. Thank you, Portia. Stephen Riley is in North Andres. Thank you. Paul Sweeting is in Freeport, Grand Bahama. All right. Thank you so much. Dunmore Town, Harbor Island is watching. Harbor Island, you all are under attack. So that's let me see if I can see Miss Ati at a percenti. You know what a percenti is, y'all. Hub Island belongs to y'all, percenties. So y'all can't let them other people take that over. Um, Loretta Smith is watching. Orlando in the house. That's Queen of Ferguson. Thank you, Orlando. Lozo is watching from Abaco. Thank you. Diane Newbold is in Pinewood, a place I love. Marsha Demerit is in Freeport. Patrick Stewart is in Tall Pines. Roger is watching from Chicago. Esther Benaby is in West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you, Esther Benaby. Um, Marlene Evans is there. Thank you so much, Marlene Evans. Freeport is also, thus Donna Russell is watching. Joe Boss says the 954 is watching. Thank you, Joe Boss. Terry Henfield is in Bimini. Good evening. Long Island is in the house. That's Ruth Cassandra Adderley Smith. All the government names. Thank you for watching. You are very welcome. Uh, Gleason Patterson is watching in Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, Gleason. I always hear your voice notes on WhatsApp. Very informative and well spoken. Rudy Knowles is in Freeport. Frank White is watching. Of course, Frank White is from Abaco. Thank you for watching, Frank White. Jamon Darling is in Sea Breeze. Ann Green, Pinewood in the house. Welcome, Pinewood. Always welcome. Eddie Smith, Abaco is watching. Ileana Ferrario is from Florida. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Kermit Basin is watching from Freeport. Tanya McKell is watching from Sir Robin Hood. Uh, They're calling me Sir Robin Hood. Thank you so much. We are going to take this country back and give it to the people. We are going to do that. You don't have to worry about that. That is the mission. John Roll is watching from Freeport. Thank you so much. John Taylor is in Freeport. Craig Pinder in Freeport. Listen, we had such a wonderful time in Freeport. I'll get to that in a minute. Beverly Adderley is watching in Nassau. Cheryl Turner is tuned in Pinewood. Thank you, Cheryl Turner. Um, uh, Watching from Exuma, that's Sandra Roberts says, good night, Mr. President. Good night to you. Um, Also, we got James Lowe is watching. Pastor James Cartwright Lowe, and he's watching from Spring City, Abaco. Thank you, James Cartwright Lowe. Hatchet Bay Luther is watching. That's McNeil Newbold. Hannah Mann is watching from Fire Trail Road. Welcome, Hannah Mann. Loretta Smith is watching from Pinewood. Thank you, Pinewood, and you are welcome, Pinewood. We are going to take Pinewood this time. We're not going to let them steal this election this time. So we're going to need everyone. We're going to have a clarion call for Pinewood in a minute. And also in short order, either this week or next week, we're going to be painting another old lady's house in Pinewood. So y'all just stay tuned for that. All right. So Michael Horton is in the deep south. Sea Breeze, Portia Edgecombe. Who else we got? Freeport, that's Lynx Jones is watching. Sandy Point, Abaco is watching. That's Monique Burrows. Mel is in Abaco. Marlene Evans is watching from Southern Shores. Always watching. Thank you, Marlene Evans. Sean Tinker, Nassau in the house. Freeport, Jacqueline Williams. Jamal is in Sunset Park. Cowpen Road is in the house. That's Henry Miller. There's an all organic Bahamian in the Cowpen Road area. Anishka Roll is watching. Change incoming. Yes, thank you so much. Change is here. A good day. So I can't get the rest of them. I see Hawksbill, Chicago, all of these. I got to stop right there. But thank you so much for getting it in. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for letting us know where you are from. You know we love all of you, and we do this because of you. And so there's a new feature that Facebook actually gave us access to. I Brave them must see that yet because they're trying to interfere with that. But you can give us stars, and that means that you're donating to the cause. Every star you give, we get 1 cent. All right. For every star you give, we give 1 cent. So you're able to go on Facebook with your card, and you're able to buy stars. So you could buy, the more you buy, the cheaper they are, and you can give as many stars as you want. So please, let me see some stars to your name. Help donate to the cause. Another way you can give to us from wherever you are in the world, you can give stars. And like I said, for every star, that's 1 cent that will go to us. And so on our last live that we had in I think it was in Freeport, we collected about 2,400 stars, and that's about $24. All right. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. So let's get those stars coming. Let's get those stars coming. We appreciate you. We all got to do what it takes to get this thing going. And so Some of you might have just joined us. You might have seen the videos that we posted previously. Is one in particular I wanted to post, and one is with the illegal immigrants who have just decided to just take our land. I mean, they've just decided that they are going to just keep coming on these boats, and our government has just decided that it is going to just simply ignore it and pretend that it isn't happening while they travel around the world. Also, I'm going to show you video of Brave Davis in Egypt selling out our nation to the IMF. You should be very concerned. I'm going to show you video of Brave Davis in Egypt at COP27 selling our nation, selling our birthright to the IMF. So, first, I'm going to show you this video by that gentleman you just saw, Kurt Cornish. Um, Kurt Cornish saying that they care more about what happened in Ugo and John Canoe than what's going to happen in Abaco. It's his word.
I also wish to clarify the assumption that perhaps the members of parliament for North Abaco was not being listened to as it relates to the matter pertaining to illegal migrants in Abaco.
Speak to your constituents. Tell them you spoke to the government.
You and John are good men. My prime minister, my leader,
Yes.
and my colleagues certainly is listening. We are far more concerned about Hugo Ben John Canoe than what has happened in Abaco.
Don't forget me.
Wow. It's like these people have lost their minds. That's Kirk Cornish, the member of parliament for North Abaco, saying that him and his prime minister and his colleague, the immigration officer, whoever else, the immigration minister, etc., they are more concerned about who's going to win John Canoe than what's going on in Abaco and the legal immigration problem in Abaco. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is under attack while these fellas are just playing us. This is yesterday's invasion.
Inside the water. 47 inside the water, and nothing but 3 people still on the boat.
I am so sorry. We didn't have any sound. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is under attack, and you're going to have to fight for this. You're going to have to fight for this. Because if you don't, we're not going to have a country left. Bahamas, we are in a crisis. And if you don't fight for this, we're in trouble. But the FNM and the PLP wants it this way. And I'm going to show you some things today. I want you to stick with me today. I'm going to show you some things that's going to help you to understand. I'm about to show you video of Dr. Minnis and what he said in the House of Assembly last week. And no one heard it. They heard it, but they didn't hear it. If you hear the evil, diabolical plan that Minnis had, and the brave them is going to carry out, in fact, they did carry it out in a certain place, you're going to be shocked. It didn't make the news. It's like the media's gag. Like it's like they have to send their scripts to Clint for Clint to give them permission to say certain things. That's how it feels. Because when those words came out of Minnis' mouth, that should have been headline news. But no one heard it. I'm going to play that for you in a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, before I go there, I just want to thank the people of Grand Bahama who came out in full force and really supported me, who treated me like royalty. I appreciate you. I love you. The people who want to stand with me, stand with the Bahamian people, the people who are putting aside the yellow and the red for their country. Thank you. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for being there. We had about 70 people that came out and we had a nice grill out there. I spoke to the people. Of course, the message was blocked on Facebook. The message, the live started, and then it was just shut down. It was blocked. And so I'm going to try to screen record it and get it out there because we had a powerful message that we wanted not only Grand Bahama, but the whole Bahamas to hear. And so we're going to try to screen record that and maybe put it on our website. We'll let you know what happens. All right. But I just want to thank the people of Grand Bahama. You are the keystone. You is where the revolution needs to begin. You are going to start this. Grand Bahama, you are important. You've tried the PLP and the FNM back and forth, and that ain't been working out. Talk to your family, talk to your friends. Don't get weary and good doing. Talk to them. Preach to them. Make sure they're there every week when we're doing the live so they can see what's going on. They can understand. They can hear. They can ask questions. You can ask questions. If you had a question that they had for you, they didn't understand something, and you couldn't answer it, this is the day for that. And so you'll be able to call in and and get those questions answered. We have to save this country. And so Grand Bahama, we're coming back there in December. December 2nd, we're going to arrive, and that whole weekend, we're going to be there, and we're going to start establishing our branches, and we're going to hit the ground. We're going to hit the ground running from now because we got to save this country because the country is in trouble. I'm about to show you some videos of Brave Davis selling this country out to the IMF right now. We have video. So we got some stuff to cover today. We're going to see if we can get through a lot of it. And then we're going to take some calls and questions from you. With Grand Bahama, we will be back soon. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The men are fired up. That was a event organized by the men of Grand Bahama. We are so proud of you that you're able to do that. The men's group have about 90 people in it now, and they're recruiting. Remember, in Grand Bahama, go and get your tickets. Contact our persons on the ground. If y'all can get me a number that I could put up so that they can contact. You can get your tickets. $10 is for your Thanksgiving dinner. In Grand Bahama, it's just $10. Just $10. So we want you to make sure and you support that. If you can get me the number, I can post it. And also in Nassau, we're going to be having our cookout. It's going to be right at our Pinewood headquarters. You can come. You'll have some tables set up, etc. You can come here and eat or come grab your food and go. It's only $15 in Nassau, and you get all the good stuff. And we want to thank everyone for their donations. We're gonna have peas and rice, honey glazed ham, turkey, stuffing, candied yams, baked macaroni, all the good stuff. And so yeah, it's only $15. So support the movement. Support the movement. Know we love you. Come and get your tickets. That's how the tickets look. Come and get your tickets and make sure that you're part of this. We spend a lot of money to make this happen, and so we want to make sure the investment come back. Join our movement and make sure you're part of this. Okay. So I'm going to get right to it. Someone says, "Here comes the interference." Okay, hope we're not having any interference. Uh, we'll continue. All right. Before we go, if you are in Grand Bahama, we're going to give you a number to call. We're going to give you a number to call in order to make sure you can buy your tickets down there in Grand Bahama, and you can call 441 5323. 5323 441 5323. And you can call that number, and that is Tanya Strawn. You can call Tanya Strawn, and she can make sure that you get your ticket. You can get your ticket. So it's 441 That's Tanya Strawn, and she is the vice chairman of our women's branch, and she represents Grand Bahama, the women's branch in Grand Bahama. All right. So if you want to get your tickets for Grand Bahama, you can get it right there. Okay. Just call. The number is right there on the screen. 441 5323. That's Tanya Strawn. 441 5323. All right. So thank you over that. Someone can type that in the stream, in the chat, if you want to. All right. So let's get back down to business. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, man, we are under attack. I'm going to talk something about this, and then I'm going to get to show you Brave Davis in a minute. I actually wanted to start with Brave Davis, but I'm going to start with the attack first, and then I'm going to show you Brave Davis and what's really going on, and then show you where we really need to be. But we are literally and seriously under attack. These communities are being built like crazy. Somehow, after September, it's like we just got flooded. It's like a message went out, and we've been flooded. And what you're seeing right now is just one shanty town. Hundreds of acres, they're just taken. Hundreds of acres. And look at the size of the houses they are building now. Just look at it. They're building huge houses and filling them with people. They're not building the little small shack anymore. They are big. Look at the size of those buildings. You can see cars next to the building. That'll show you the size of those buildings. Look at them. This shanty town. Look at the buildings. They are building monstrosities. Look, Bahamas, we are in trouble. Look, look at that. Look at the size of this building in the front. Look at the car in front of it. This one has two trucks in front of it. This is like a duplex. The one in the top left corner, that's a duplex. All right? Look at the next one. Look at these. These double buildings. Look at how big these are. Bahamians don't have houses this big. Look at the car, and that'll tell you how big this building is. They are building absolute mansions. And the PLP and F&M want this. This is what they are encouraging. That's just a part of it. I just stop it right there. They are building mansions. They are building absolute mansions. So while they are building these mansions, Bahamians can't do anything in their own country. This is slackness to the highest order. This is mind blowing. So the reason I said the PLP and the FNM is behind is because you can see how the PLP is behaving. A lot of you don't realize that Minis came out and pretended to be against the shanty towns. But this is the old trick I keep telling you about. Bahamians keep falling for this. The prime minister the government will come out and make it seem like they're going to fight against something so the Bahamians will be impressed with their actions. They come out and they will pretend that, they are against this nonsense and they got to do something about it. And they'll put out a warning, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, they have no intentions to do anything about it. So what Minnis did was he worked with Fred Smith. Let me tell you that I was in Fred Smith's office one time, and I saw Fred Smith. He called him. He said, "I control Minnis." He said, "I control Minnis." He said, "Watch this. Be quiet." And he called Minnis and put him on the speakerphone. And I watched him curse Minnis, the prime minister of this country, out like a dog. I witnessed that. I was sitting there in front of Fred Smith. And he cursed the prime minister of this country out like a dog. And talked about how he's giving him money. You better do what he say. And other things he said. But he was literally cursing him out, cussing him out, nasty. I witnessed that. I was sick to the stomach. Seeing someone talk to the prime minister of the country like that. And the prime minister, he just sit there and then he just did a little laugh. As he was being cursed out like a dog. I witnessed that. And so, Minnis, knowing Fred Smith is going to sue and do the injunction, of course, went out there and said, "Hey, you all have a certain amount of time to leave our country, and we're going to break down." And they put on a show, knowing that there would be an injunction. But how do you know that Minnis and those who are part of this and this is what they wanted? Because they didn't appeal it. Because they could have appealed it. But they didn't. To this day, nor did the PLP. Because that is what they wanted. It's the same thing that Perry Christie did with the numbers men. They pretended that, oh, we're going to close the number of houses. And then they said, "Listen, all y'all, go to William Monroe and we can fix this. Y'all do an injunction, which can stop us so we can look good, so we can look like we doing our jobs." And Bahamians keep falling for this nonsense over and over and over to the point where it's more than sickening. But I want you to listen to what Minnis had to say in the House. Someone says, "Better," says, "just your words, bro." Says, "Been better if you get it on recording." No, I don't have to get that on recording. I'm telling you what I witnessed. And if you don't believe it, that's on you. I don't care whether you believe it or not. But I'm speaking what I witnessed. All right? And so I want you to hear what uh, Minnis had to say about this Shantytown issue. I want you to hear this. Listen very carefully to what Minnis had to say, and I'm going to break this down for you. But he said something specific to the end of this that if that don't shock you, nothing will. Watch this.
My administration sought to address the Shantytown issue once and for all. We were going to ensure that they were all cleared. Madam Speaker, just briefly, the mud the sandbanks and pigeon pea were cleared. The farm had a number of homes. We had ensured that there was.
So, firstly, he said the mud and the pigeon pea were cleared. He didn't clear them. Dorian did. Dorian cleared those. All right. So he's saying this to make it sound like he actually did something. I'll let it continue.
One entrance to the farm. That entrance was being manned by a police and defense force. No one can enter with any type of heavy equipment or materials, and therefore difficult to build. There was also.
He said that the farm, which is the other one, thank you. He said the farm, which was the other one, the other shanty town. He said that they had there was one entrance to that. Listen, man, these people walk to the bush. They walk to the bush. And he said there was one entrance. That had nothing to do with him. There was always one entrance, one main entrance. And I went there and I took like what's in there. And there was no defense force there stopping you from coming in and out. Minister is lying. He's lying. Y'all saw the live when I was in the farm. Y'all saw when I went there with Clint. Y'all saw when I went there with Maria and others. There was no police and defense force there blocking anything. He's lying, trying to make himself seem irrelevant, like he was going to do something. But keep listening.
On order, a mobile police station that was supposed to be placed on the farm. Anyone entering who were illegal would have been dealt with appropriately. Those who were legal would have been dealt with appropriately, regularized, etc.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard what he just said. Anyone entering, if they were illegal, they would be, if they were legal, they'd be dealt with appropriate. If they were illegal, they'd be dealt with appropriate. But look what he said after that. He said regularized, etc. Did you hear that? So in other words, you're just going to take the illegal ones because you don't regularize the legal ones. They're already regularized. So they was going to give status to the illegal immigrants. You see? This ain't just start. The PLP and FNM are one, and they are continuing with this. And so in case you missed it, I can rewind it and let you hear it again.
Would have been dealt with appropriately. Who were illegal would have been dealt with appropriately. Those who were legal would have been dealt with appropriately, regularized, etc. And
did you hear it? They were going to be regularized. So it's going to give them papers. You heard it? This is continuing. This is happening every day. In our country, they are flooding this country because something has been initiated without the knowledge of the Bahamian people that the FNM started and the PLP is continuing. I'll let this continue.
And they would have been encouraged to move into proper facilities that meet government standards.
They were going to have to start building houses that were built to code. Jerry said, didn't you notice that they stopped building the shacks and now they're building the mansions that are built to code? Didn't you notice it? The wooden houses they're building now, and they're building block houses also, they're building a different set of homes built to code. The FNM started it, the PLP is continuing it. But wait, there's more.
And they would have been given the benefit, like all of us, to apply for land and build their home.
Farmers, I know you didn't just say that one. The illegal immigrants were going to be given the benefits, just like all of us, he said, to apply for the crown land, get crown land, and build their homes. That's why they ain't moving them. He had a plan. You remember I played a video on this show before with Fred Mitchell talking about how they've already issued crown land to the Haitians living in the Fox Hill area. He came in the House of Assembly, one of the first things they did. And he said they're giving the crown land to those persons in that Fox Hill area. Those Haitians and those Bahamians the Bahamians of Haitian descent. While they were attacking Bahamians on the crown land. Now, I want you to hear this out Minutes mode again, because this Minutes who trying to come back. But this why we can't let the F&M come back, because this was the plan of the F&M. All up inside them is a part of this. They're going to take that crown land and give it to the Haitians.
Fit like all of us to apply for land and build their home.
You only hear that.
Meet government standards. And they would have been given the benefit, like all of us, to apply for land and build their home. Madam Speaker, in addition to that, the plan was to go after behavior.
Ladies and gentlemen, if that don't make you sick, nothing will. But you notice that didn't even make the news? In a civilized country, they would have said the prime minister said that he was going to take crown land and give the illegal immigrants the same benefits that Bahamians have. That we don't have because they're attacking us. So the government, which is continuous, was going to give crown land to the illegal immigrants while brave them attacking Bahamians. Lying on Bahamians, say we trespassing, fighting us, sending ministry works in there, sending the army in there, the military in there with armored trucks to get Bahamians off land. While they know their plan was to give that land to Haitians and to PLP cronies. And we showed all the videos proving it. Yes, we headed to the UN. The plans are being done right now. You are disenfranchising Bahamians to favor illegal immigrants. You are threatening Bahamians, harassing Bahamians, locking up Bahamians, because we want to stand up for what is ours. And Bahamians are sitting down and allowing this to happen in our country, and there will be nothing left for their children. 10 years from now, you're going to be saying we wish we had listened to Lincoln. But then it would be too late. And those politicians who made millionaires, their children straight, they can live anywhere in the world. Their children are already in boarding school somewhere. They could go live anywhere in the world while you sit down and suffer because you choose party over country. Bahamians, we got to stand up and fight. We got to stand up and fight. And so, lying brave Davis, the one thing we know about that fella lies. Lying brave Davis, he ain't signed nothing with America or nobody. But all of his actions say otherwise. If you ain't signed and you doing this, I would rather you sign, because this is worse. The illegal immigrants allowed to come and flood and they ain't doing that. They faking. The PLP minister for South Africa said he believed at least 10,000 illegal immigrants is there. They go on there and lock up 13 people. 13. Bahamas is wartime. And it's either you with us or you against us. And the us does not mean coalition. The us means Bahamians. The us means the people of the Bahamas. The organic Bahamians. The organic people of the Bahamas. Or those that we have grafted in who love this country, who are legal permanent residents of this country, who love this country, who are willing to stand up and fight for this country. Either you with us to save this nation or you against us. But we taking this country back. We are making preparations now to go into one of those shanty towns where they kicked a Bahamian lady off of her land, broke down her house, and told her they will kick her ass if she come back on her land. A letter was written to them in Creole by the Ministry of Works telling them that that's that lady's land and they need to get off that land. But the government tell her they ain't helping her. She got to get them off the land. That's her problem. She talked to the police. The police say, I ain't back there to get for them people to put voodoo on me. Mamas, we got to stand up. Because once they realize they could do that to her, next. Next. This whole country is going to be next. I'm not going to sit down and let that happen. Hate me, love me, it don't matter. Where God sends me, I go. And I'm going to defend that Bahamian woman who they cursed out like a dog and ran her off of her land. I'm going to defend her because she is an organic Bahamian. So the bulldozer's coming. They ain't got to listen, but the bulldozer's coming. And so I'm going to call for some of you to come there when it's going on, to witness it, to be a part of it, to support that Bahamian lady. They were also building on the property next to her. They realized that it was a prosecutor, Mr. Daxon, I think he's the ASP. They were building on his property. We came there in uniform and told them, listen, y'all don't play with that. And they left his property and they were on her property. She's on her own. So no one to stand up for the Bahamian people. All over the country in so many different ways we are suffering. So we're going to go there and we're going to fight for her. I want to segue off of that for a minute. I want to segue off of that for 1 minute so that I could get to another serious, important matter. Another serious matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this country is in serious peril in terms of economically. The Prime Minister is traveling the whole world, partying and having fun. Talking about climate change. Climate change. Trying to make it sound like he is a champion for this. No, there are activist groups who've been fighting for this. There's activist groups who the international community is actually listening to. No one is listening to Philip Brave Davis. No one is paying attention to him. We couldn't care less what he have to say. But as you can see by when he went there and made that speech, no one was listening. When the Prime Minister of Barbados was speaking, the place was full. Other presidents and prime ministers were speaking, the place was full. They could care less about what Brave Davis has to say. Somebody else says, it doesn't make sense calling for Bahamians to come out for that. Only a few will show. Well, that's all we need. Change has always come from a few good men. I want you to understand that. We don't need the whole Bahamas to come. We need those who are serious to come. We need a few good men and women. They're serious. Yes, we know that our people are mostly soft and passive, etc. But soft and passive people historically are the people who get taken advantage of. And it's going to take the strong amongst us to stand up. That's it. So if a lot come, good. If a few come, good. If I got to beat up myself, good. I can defend a woman by myself if I have to. It's our crown land. I'm not just defending her, I'm defending us. It's our land. And no one is going to come from any other country and take our land and violently insult and kick a woman off it and break down her house. You should be the first person there. Nonsense you talking about. It's only a few people are going to come. I'll go by myself. And I'll take on the whole village if I have to. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. No one is going to take this country over. So I don't want them to think that they can do this little plot, outnumber us, and then start putting their people in place to be prime minister of this country. Listen, that's war. You hear me? That's war. You know, standing down on that. That's war. We are not going to let our government sell this country out. If the government is not there to defend us, we have to defend ourselves. And every constitution in the world gives you the right to defend yourself. We have to defend ourselves. They ain't taking that woman land. That's it, and that's all. You're with us or you're against us. That's it. All right? And that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you is they're talking about COP 27. COP 27. The Prime Minister was justifying that he had to take 70 people with him. And this is Latre Raming saying why they had to take all of those people with them. This is a justification that they had for taking all of those people with them. I want you to watch this. This one is interesting.
Highly technical trip. Of course, you know, there's a lot of groups in the Bahamas involved in this work, NGOs and civil society. A part of that delegation number is civil society and the private sector and NGOs. The government of the Bahamas, by virtue of taxpayers, will not be footing the cost of that bill. The government has a highly technical team that will be going from the relevant ministries. In comparison, the private sector has a much larger presence than the government. And the persons who are going on behalf of the government is primarily technical.
Well,
So, ladies and gentlemen, he says that they take in technical people, but he wouldn't say who. He said some NGOs are going, but he said wouldn't say who. You know, they think we're stupid. What NGO is going? How much is this trip going to cost? Why are these NGOs going? Inform us. We may be more impressed with the fact that this is happening. But don't just tell us some vague NGOs are going. Which NGOs? The PLP, is that an NGO? Because the PLP is an NGO. Who is going and why? But he said this technical people going. Technical people. I beg to differ. I'm going to show you this meeting that they're having. Very, very interesting meeting. So I'm going to show you the meeting first, and then I'm going to show you what they had to say. There was a meeting with the chairman of the IMF. You know the IMF. There was a meeting. Let me show you the meeting and the technical people who are at this meeting. The technical people. There we go. Brave. Look looking very technical in his bush jacket while everybody else has on a proper coat suit for this official meeting. There's Brave in his shirt. Okay. That is the chairman of the IMF.
Very well, very good to see you. I was very pleased that this is my chief of staff.
Prime Minister, good to see you again.
And you can grant us.
So I see someone very technical. Do you see who I see? Someone else tell me who they see. Who do you see? Let's see. Who do you see? You see? Who do you see? Someone tell me. Y'all put it in the. I'll wait for it to come. Who do you see? Who do you see? Who do you see? They see Clay, they see Fritz, okay. They see the AG, okay. Someone says, is that Jerome? I see Jerome Fitzgerald. I see Jerome Fitzgerald. Now, I don't know the technical skills that Jerome Fitzgerald have, but all Jerome is known for is corruption. That's this Jerome, whose name is on the receipt from the last trip. I guess he decided, well, it says my name is on the receipt. This time I go in. That's the technical team. We paid for Jerome Fitzgerald to go. That's it. So Jerome Fitzgerald is sitting next to the Prime Minister. And that's Clay also next to him. Now you tell me who is missing. To see how smart we are. Who is missing, Bahamas? Who is missing? I see Clay. I see Brave Davis. I see Jerome Fitzgerald. Who is missing? Smart. Brunel Ferguson, you go to the head of the class. Vaughn Miller. Someone say Fred. No, Vaughn Miller. Clint right there. Clint holding the camera, y'all. Clint is behind the camera. Vaughn Miller is the Minister of Immigration and Natural Resources. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. He's the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources. And he is not there. Someone make that make sense to me. Someone make that make sense to me. Because something ain't making sense right about now. Something ain't adding up. Something wrong. Vaughn Miller was taken over to the PLP to be silenced. They wanted to silence me too. They made me office. I didn't take it. But they attempted to make me office. But this is the meeting that they're talking about. Look at it.
I saw it. Well, we didn't do it. It was let's talk. Speak the truth.
Yes.
Unfortunately, consequences that according to the way of design.
What I'm more preoccupied with how can we turn what is now a very big cultural transition? Because if we get into the depth, we either we say it's tough, the economy is going.
So this is just some kind of informal meeting. No decision really being made. Nothing really happening there. And I'm going to show you what they had to say after the meeting. Um, I'm going to show you what they had to say after the meeting because we need to wake up. Brave is BSing his way through this whole term. Nothing they are doing makes sense. Now, this is the discussion they had after Clint was still behind the camera and he was interviewing this lady and Brave Davis. Pay attention.
Let's talk to Managing Director. First, you were able to talk with Prime Minister. How would you describe the meeting today?
We have a meeting of minds and meeting of hearts. The world is falling short of commitments made to those countries that are most affected by the climate crisis. We have to find a way to unleash more financing for the Bahamas and all the countries like the Bahamas.
So she said they're falling short of commitments made. So commitments were made. I think it was up to $40 billion commitments made, but they don't seem to be collecting that money. It was just talk. She said they're falling short of that. They have to find a way to get more financing, but she's going to mention the $4 billion now. Listen in.
Offsets, carbon credits can be a asset class for the Bahamas that helps to finance adaptation to climate shocks.
Prime Minister, how do you feel? I know you had several concerns. Talk to us about the meeting today.
Well, I'm very encouraged by Christina's support of the Bahamas and what we are doing. And she's going to lend her voices to some of the challenges that we have, which we appreciate, and we will lend our voice to some of the initiatives that they have started to create. I'm very appreciative of the sensitivity that the IMF is showing to the challenges that small and developing states like ours have, particularly with this existential threat that's upon us. And I'm grateful that she is going to look into how assist us in the monetization of our carbon credits as a new asset class. And I'm so delighted that we were able to have this meeting this afternoon to share our views, concerns, and the way forward on these things. The one thing that comes out of this meeting, neither of us are going to give up.
Exactly.
Finally, you've always talked about financing and the fact that more debt in loans and concessions isn't really helping the Bahamas. Do you believe this is a step in the right direction?
Well, it is, and again, our conversation covered debt sustainability, and she has offered to look into how they factor in lost debt incurred by consequences of climate change in the debt profile and how that impacts our debt sustainability.
We have made one step in that direction by creating first ever long-term concessional financing capacity at the IMF, exactly to support countries that are vulnerable to climate shocks. We currently...
Now, in case you didn't hear her, they have put something in place for long-term financing capacity. Financing meaning more loans with more long-term. But listen to the term that she can say called long-term. I think it's up to 20 years. So long-term financing. So they're going to help us with our debt by giving us more debt because we're affected by climate change that is causing debt. Are y'all awake yet? I'll let her continue.
Currently have $40 billion available to our members for 20 years, maturity 10.5 years, grace period, and it is available.
So it seems to be financing loan, etc., for up to 20 years, and then a grace period of 10 years. But they have $40 billion of more debt because that's what the IMF does. The borrower is slave to the lender. And so Brave is basically hugging up and kissing Massa. And Massa, thank you for making me a slave. Thank you for making me a slave for 20 more years. We love it. And we're going to do what you say. And we're going to promote you to the world because you are considering making us a slave for 20 more years. And if for some reason we're able to buy our freedom in that 20 years, you are making it so that we can extend it for another 10 years. Farmers, we need change. Let me let them continue.
Not just to low-income countries, it is available to vulnerable middle-income countries like the Bahamas. Everybody who follows up this topic knows that vulnerability to climate shocks has not been accepted as criteria for concessionality until now.
That's right.
So I'm very pleased to contribute in that way.
And for that, we are grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for that, we are grateful. And he said they're going to be promoting the IMF. You heard him say it. They're going to be promoting their initiatives, et cetera, et cetera. For that, he says, we are grateful. For that, he says, we are grateful. Listen, Philip Brave Davis, you are grateful for that because you are a slave. You are Stephen from Django. I am not grateful for more debt. The Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. And I dream of a Bahamas where we will be the lender and not the borrower. We will be like Qatar and Dubai. We will be the lender. They are making interest and making profits by keeping us slaves to them. And instead of finding a way out, Brave Davis, as he says, he is grateful to Massa for 20 more years in slavery. And so the money she is talking about, I mean, this is mind blowing. The money she is talking about is this money here. This is in May 20. This is May 27, 2022. IMF secures 40 billion so far for new sustainability trusts. So this is what they're talking about. All right. So they're talking about this money that they're putting together that persons have made commitments to. The money has not been collected yet. They've received, as you can see it here, $40 billion in, sorry, let me move that over, in pledges. But she is saying it isn't really coming through, so they got to find a way to get this money. You heard her say it, and that's her, see, Kristalina Georgieva. All right? And so that's really what it is. And if you go and read this is in Reuters. Reuters.com has the article. Go and read it yourself. They have been talking about, quite a bit of things as relate to this. All right. And so they are looking to finance, us. On top of that, let me just go to another one. See if that'll come up. Yeah. And so COP27 kicks off with deal deal to discuss climate compensation. They're only going to discuss this. They're not doing this. So let me see if I can unmute it. Let me remind it for you. Here we go. Listen. So in case you didn't hear that, he was thanking activists who have been pushing this forward and being persistent in this. Nothing to do with Brave, just so you know. And they don't pay attention to Brave, just so you know. So I think you would have heard that Bahamas, you would have heard that they said that it was the more powerful nations. Oh, no sound. You couldn't hear that? Oh my God, they're saying no sound, no sound. So I don't know if you were able to hear all of what we were playing just now. Do you still have no sound? Are you able to hear? Oh my God, you couldn't hear. Oh my God. Um, Let me see the best way. Oh wow, they said they heard nothing. I guess you could see it, but you couldn't hear it. All right, let's try that again. I'm so sorry about that. You can hear now. All right, let me see if I can do something quickly. You deserve to hear what they were saying just now. We're so sorry for that. Let's see if there's something we can do. What can we do to get that sound going? We're probably gonna have to. They can see it, but they couldn't hear it. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. All right, let's see if we could work some magic here, and that'll allow you to hear. So, all right, let's just try it again one time, and let's see if you can get to hear what's happening. We're so sorry about that. We thought you could hear all the time, and we couldn't see the messages. Okay, so the entire video had no sound. Okay, let's try it again. We're so sorry. We'll try it again. All right. We're doing a screen share. Sorry, next time we'll make sure we have the video in house to make sure that you can hear it. Um, let's try it again for them and let's see if they're able to hear it properly. So let's try it again. Here we go. Sorry. That's a coming. Let me pause it for a second so I can see if you can hear. So I don't know if you were able to hear. Please let me know if you're able to hear, so I know if to keep it going or not. Were you able to hear that? No sound still. Oh wow, how's that possible? How is it possible? Oh man, we are so sorry. You probably have to play it from another device. We're so sorry about that. But I think you deserve to hear that. So we don't know why the sound isn't coming through. Someone says they could hear it. All right. Well, anyway, I don't want to stall this, but basically, let me tell you what I'll do. I'll put the link so that you can, after this live, you can go and watch it for yourself. I'll put the link in the chat so that after the live, you can go and watch it for yourselves. All right. So basically, what they were saying was that um, previously the previously the more powerful nations had said, "Hell no, they are not." I just put the link in there. Hell no, they're not going to give any money for this stuff. Now, notice Brave Davis and those came back from COP26 and they never told you that that was decided at that meeting that they were not going to be giving money. He could have come back and said, Bahamas, we went there, they had discussions, and the more powerful nations said they ain't giving no money, but they're willing to talk for another 3 years. And that's what they said in that video. They were willing to talk for another 3 years and then see what happened. But there was no commitment and there was no guarantees. Even the money that they'd raised, there was no guarantee that anyone was going to get any money. All right, and so that is what was discussed at COP26. But he didn't come back and say that. Okay, and so once this is finished, you can go and watch that video and see what was said there. There's no guarantees there, and they also thanked the activists who've been pushing and pushing and pushing this for to allow this to keep going. Nothing to do with Brave Davis and his nonsense and what he's talking about. Nothing to do with him. All right. And so this is where we are. Our politicians don't want us to benefit from our natural resources. They don't. They're talking about using our carbon credits to pay debt. So the IMF, it sounds like they are going to use our carbon credits as collateral to give us money with 20 years maturity date and 10 years uh, exemption. They are now talking about using our carbon credits to pay debt instead of using our carbon credits to empower the Bahamian people. This is how stupid these people are. And they're now talking to the IMF, let's just hand it over to you. We're going to give some to our cronies and our private people. That's why we're doing the National Investment Fund and getting rid of the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And then for the debt part of it, we're going to turn this stuff over our land, our aragonite, our limestone, etc., and our carbon credits. Let's just turn it over to IMF and borrow from them. This is making it sound like that's all we can do. A lot of people won't listen to Lincoln. When we start with election fever, they're going to just say PLPF and M, and they're not going to listen to him. And then the country is going to be destroyed. But Brave doesn't care because he'll be long gone. We are paying today for the borrowing that Ingram was doing in the 90s and that Perry Christie is doing. We will pay, and your children will pay for what Brave Davis is doing right now. Y'all better wake up. Spread the word to your friends and family. Oh, that's it. These politicians have no idea what to do. All of them are lost. They had this other political crony who they had paid to pay it off to form a copy party of us. I mean, it was kind of cute and kind of entertaining. It wasn't really cute. It wasn't really cute, but it was kind of cute. Let me see if I have that lined up. No, we don't have that lined up. Oh my god! I wanted you all to witness the nonsense that these politicians are spewing out there, because they are just absolutely lost. Okay, let me see if I could get that out there for you all quick. Yeah, I'm gonna, because I want you to see these people are being thrust out there to the Bahamian people as sinkers, but they are so lost that it is mind-boggling. They have gone to the House of Assembly and said that the carbon credits thing is worth $33 trillion. Not my words, it's their words. $33 trillion. But we are talking about going to the IMF to borrow and to beg? What manner of leaders are these that is running this country? That's like you have a rich family, you just inherited $10 million from your daddy. And you coming to me to borrow some money to buy lunch, to borrow to do a trip to Miami. But you just inherited $10 million. This makes no sense what they're doing. But the reason they're doing it is because they don't want Bahamians to benefit from our natural resources. They don't want us to benefit. They don't want us to be like Dubai and Qatar and these other countries. They want you to stay slaves. You have to wake up, or we're going to lose this short opportunity. Carbon credits is also not intended to last forever. There's an expiration date on that initiative. We should have been already in before everyone else jumps in heavily. We should not be there, going there with Jamaica and everybody else. We should have gone in ourselves and just started. By the time as they caught on, we'll be so far ahead. We'd have had the industry on lock. But Brave Davis told me that he cannot and will not let Bahamians benefit from our natural resources, and you're seeing it every day. If this thing is worth billions or trillions, like they say, now, what's all this flamming and BS? What's all this stalling? It doesn't take a year to get this off the ground. What's all this stalling? All of these politicians are lost. I just thought this was so cute and I had to play this for you. It seems like these people are off their rockers. You know, this is the show that they really ordained to fight against me and to fight against the Coalition of Independence. And it's like they've lost their minds. So this is Shanique Miller's show. And Shanique Miller asked Cassius Stott a question about climate change and how it's affecting and all that. Instead of bringing me on the show, who knows about this stuff and who's shown that I know about this stuff, they can't bring me on the show because the media isn't allowed to. And Shanique Miller told me herself that she's not allowed to bring me on the show, that they don't want me on there, but they want to promote Cassius and keep him relevant in hopes that they could offer him as another third party again in this election. But after you hear this, I don't think we should allow that. Listen to why Cassius says global warming is happening.
What do we do about an Earth has overheated? About the various strange weather patterns which they all lay at the feet of climate change. What do we do to be responsible and try protect and preserve?
But depends on which lens we're looking through. If you're looking through the lens of the Democrats, then yeah, we need to reduce carbon. But if you're looking at a lens through a sensible person, then we need to curb our behavior. We got to stop aborting children. We got to stop killing in the streets. We got to stop our sexual immorality. Then the
But Cassius George says that climate change is caused by aborting children, by killing people, and by sexual immorality. Oh my God. Man, let's say that again. Let's say that again. Let's say that again. One more time. One more time. Because this will brave them bring in to form another fake coalition at next election. They didn't have the meeting on that. But I don't think they heard this. Yeah.
What do we do to be responsible and try protect and preserve
but depends
what's around
on
us?
which lands we're looking through. If you're looking through the lens of the Democrats, then yeah, we need to reduce carbons. But if you're looking at a lens through a sensible person, then we need to curb our behavior. We got to stop aborting.
He said the sensible person. If you look into the lens of a sensible person, he said the Democrat, if you look into the lens of the Democrats, yeah, you need to curb your behavior and do this and do that. But I can't even follow up on this. Let me just let it play.
Aborting children. We got to stop killing in the streets. We got to stop our sexual immorality. Then the earth perhaps may say, they deserve to live inside me. Because humans think that this is a human planet. This is not a human planet. The earth is living itself. And so everything we do affects the earth. Every action is an equal and opposite reaction. So our action causes a reaction from the planet. And so, while I guess it's the first time I'm talking spiritual on the show, but why I think I have to say it, because we as human beings have done such injustice to ourselves. We have strayed so far away from norms and truth. I'll tell you this, Sinead. I have a daughter in Canada. She's in Canada in school. She graduated from high school in Canada. And she said that there were some students in their classroom wanted to identify as cats.
Man, Cassius,
Hold on, listen to me now.
Go in that direction.
She told me this. And the school board was contemplating putting cat litter boxes to the school for these students who identify as cats. Now, you believe that? Now, see, sensible people like me, and we can't even find them.
No,
but that's what they're doing.
We're really pushing it.
They're pushing it to the limit. And so whether you want to identify as a man, as a woman, as a dog, as a cat, as a whatever, they're accommodating you. And so we have gone so far from being sensible, the earth itself can't take our foolishness. And so when you see these storms, it ain't got nothing to do with no thing. The earth upset. You just look at any given day, you look at the Weather Channel, and you could see the
man say the earth upset.
is upset. But we don't realize that the earth is living and breathing. And if we don't understand that the earth is living and breathing, our reactions cause a reaction from the earth. You can't kill people, abort children, and think that there's no consequences for that. There's a consequences for everything we do. Everything we do, there's a consequences for.
Cassius, I tell you, you're never short on opinion. I'll tell you that part. And opinions also that vex a number of people. I think you enjoy that as well. Don't write me. I'll tell you that. The opinions expressed are those solely of the guests.
I only say what he say.
Yeah.
So Shanique Miller asks about global warming and what we could do to curb global warming. And so the man says we have to stop aborting babies and sexual immorality and Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please send us some stars. Support the movement by sending stars while we're on live. So please send us some stars. I'm sure you appreciate what we're doing. Oh my God. Listen, and he's no different than Philip Brave Davis and these other people who are lost. Coat suits and degrees and neckties don't mean intelligence. We need a new type of government. I'm going to open the phone lines. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but we can talk about the illegal immigration thing that you saw. What do you think about Minnis saying that he was giving our crown land to the illegal immigrants? And you can clearly see that Brave Davis seemed to be plotting the same thing. They were trying to push us off the land for the Haitians. We had no problems with them until the Haitians came there and was putting up a gate and we was moving them. Then all of a sudden the government jumped in. What do you think about that? All right, so the phone lines, of course, is 804-4264. 804-4264. That is the phone number. I'm going to repeat it for you. It's 804-4264. Call that number, not any other number. Call 804-4264. Call that number right there. So it's on the screen. You could call. What do you think about what you some of the things that you've heard today? 804-4264. 804-4264. And so while we're waiting for you to call in, you can call on the regular line or you can call WhatsApp. It's up to you. You can call by any of those means. If you're on the line, we won't be able to answer the other person who was there. All right? So 804-4264. All right? We need a people with vision. We need a government with vision. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, you're live. Good afternoon, you're live. Okay, we lost that one. And so 804-4264, 804-4264 is the number. You can call us in. We need a government with vision, man. You know, I was sitting down over the last week or so, what nonsense, by this government and the things that they're doing. I had a talk in Grand Bahama about the hotel down there and my experience because we had a team of people trying to buy that hotel. And, they of course, it was blocked because the Bahamian was involved. But we need some serious change. We can do so much in this country. We can do so much. Like here, they're touting this new crypto exchange. The second largest crypto exchange in the world is now registered in the Bahamas. What's the point of that if Bahamians can't participate in the crypto exchange? I don't understand how this isn't bothering anyone else. Am I alone in this? Good afternoon, you're live.
Yes, Mr. Bean, good night. How you doing?
I am awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You can turn your phone down.
Hello?
Yes, whatever you're watching it on, you can turn that down. Just listen to me on the phone.
Okay. Okay, you hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yes, listen. I'm a boat captain.
Uh-huh.
I travel all over this Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that boat what came into Lucro. That boat had to take at least about 4 days to get into Lucro. How come there's no defense force out there? These the things what they allowed and that come in. And this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, that is ridiculous, man. I mean, to see that amount of Haitians came in at one time and all that trouble was going on in Haiti. And this government, oh man, we have to get rid of this government. We have to get rid of the government and the other side.
Yes, we do. We do.
You know, I enjoy watching the show, man. You know,
Thank you.
I'm 1,000% backing you up.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so man, that's ridiculous to see that amount of people came in.
Yeah.
I can tell you all the stuff you've been talking about. The government is just raping and robbing us every day.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so you have a good night, man, because I know there's a lot of callers stuff to call at.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All
right. And so I grew up on the sea also. My dad was a boat captain, Captain Henry Bain. He ran the mail boats, and I can tell you, this gentleman is right. That boat with that little sail would have taken a long time, at least 4 days to reach Eleuthera. And how is it that no defense force is watching? How is that possible? Good afternoon, you're live.
Good evening, Dean.
Good evening.
I have a quick question.
Go
What
ahead.
was the outcome of the bill that was presented to Parliament?
Good question. So we presented it to almost all of the members of Parliament. We had already given it to almost all of them before the police went crazy. We gave it to the opposition. The opposition did nothing because, of course, you can see the plan of the opposition is to regularize these illegal immigrants and to give them our land. That's the F&M's plan. That wasn't Minutes' plan. That's the F&M's plan. They were working along with Fred Smith and them. And Pintard is a puppet of Fred Smith, and Fred Smith finances him. And I say that unapologetically because that's what I know for sure. But the government, they came, the Minister of Immigration came and said that the bill was turned over to the Attorney General's office for them to make considerations and get it back to them. And of course, that means that we're just going to stall because we don't want to do this.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And so, as we said, we presented a bill that could save this country. And the main reason we did that is so you, as the Bahamian people, can see that the government and the opposition, they want this. They want us to be flooded. They don't want to close the doors. The bill that we presented would have closed the doors and prevented the illegal immigrants from taking over our country. And he said, well, what he said, what Lincoln is presenting is nothing new. In other words, other people have been talking about this, but none of them have actually tabled the bill. None of them have come to the House and taken action to stop this from happening. All right? And so we presented the bill to the government, and of course, you can see that they want us to be taken over. That's just the reality of it. So what I was saying to you earlier, they're bragging about FTX being here, and I have an FTX account, so I don't have a problem with them. They're bragging about this other crypto exchange, but Bahamians can't participate in crypto. I mean, it's like we're living in Wonderland. Good afternoon, you're live.
Your verification code is 5.
Wait, someone missing. Call something. I don't know what that is. All right, let's go to this one. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, you're live.
Yes, Lincoln, I have a question in reference to all of those folks who came off of that boat in Elutra.
Yes.
I mean, are the people on Elutra just absorbing all of those people into their community? Where did they go?
That's exactly what's happening. There are now shanty towns in Eleuthera. They are taking over in Eleuthera. And so they are going to go into the shanty towns. People would have met them. And now they're safe in the shanty towns, and they're going to take jobs from Bahamians, from our young men and women. And that's it. And no one is going to move them.
So, I mean, the people on Elutra need to stand up and say something. The Bahamians on Elutra need to stand up and say something. How could all of those people just come into their communities like tourists?
Well, Bahamians, we are very passive people. And so I don't see them standing up. That's the problem. Maybe they need some leadership, but something has to happen because our sweet Elutra is going to be gone.
Lincoln, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Can it not be arranged where you know, like there's I don't know if you call it a clarion call or whatever, a march or whatever, on a particular day where all of the islands would march at the same time?
Yes, you can.
That not be arranged?
Yes, we'll have to organize local leaders on each of those islands. What we're doing now is we're spreading the message. We're letting the people see the importance of this. And then there has to be a clarion call. Bahamians aren't going to come out. They're not going to skip work for this. All right? Bahamians, that's not our culture. So you have to do it on a weekend. You have to do it on a holiday, etc. And then people will come out because they're free.
Well, we got to start marching on these islands and do it together so it looks like everybody's in solidarity. You know, because the folks who can't make it to Nassau, you're doing something in Nassau, but if we can have a national day with all of the islands, so that everybody on the islands will come out and be a part of the country on March. We get some social media. We need to put something together. Be out on this particular day. We have to put a day down. We have to do something. This is just off the chain right now.
Well, we are going to start this. We're going to start this movement of Bahamians taking back by demolishing the shanty town that was built on this woman's land illegally. We're going to do that. We're going to take that bold step, and we hope that inspires Bahamians all over this country to do the same thing. See, a clarion call to march is one thing. They can ignore you and ignore your march. We're calling a clarion call to go bulldoze these people that have insulted the Bahamians and are just taking our land. That's the clarion call. We need action now.
Well, as you see, Grand Bahama, I mean, we're ready to go. Grand Bahama is different. I mean, we're all in.
Thank
You
you.
know, we got to do something. Thank
Yes.
you very much, Lincoln.
Thank you. So just stay tuned, everybody. We are going to have a meeting on it tomorrow. We're going to bulldoze that Shanty town. And who don't like it too bad, y'all could lost me in jail. Do whatever y'all want to do. All right? You can lie on me. You can fight me. Do whatever y'all want to do. That Shanty town coming down. It's legal that on her land, she can determine what building on her land and what building is not supposed to be on her land. If I build a doghouse on my land or someone else build on my land, I can break it down. If you build a house on my land, I can break that down. And so it's on her land. The government tells us she got a responsibility to move them people and to break it down. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And so we hope this sparks a movement all over this country. It's time to stand up. That talk is cheap. I'm not interested in going and marching to no politicians to ask them to do something. I'm tired of asking them. We tired of asking them. We're not enough asking them. It's time for us to stand up and take this country back. I applaud the people of Spanish Wells who said they're going to use their laws and their rules and not going to let no one build no shanty town around them. That's it and that's all. And everyone needs to stand up and speak up. We're not against Haitians. We're against illegal immigration and we're against you taking our land while our government is attacking their own Bahamians. That's what we are against. You have your own country. Go to your country and go fix that. We can't own land in Haiti as a foreigner. It is illegal. It's in their constitution. Not in no act. In their constitution. The foreigner cannot own land in their country. Don't come in my country taking mine. You come here the right way. We have had enough. I can't run for president in Haiti. Their country is protected, but Ingram took away all our protections in our country to benefit foreigners. Removed our Movable Properties Act. But no one after him would put it back. Tell Brave put back our Immovable Properties Act. If he care about Bahamians, tell him put it back. Bahamas, you all better stand up because your children cannot take this war that is about to come. There's a violent group of people coming to our land. And no, all Haitians are not violent. There's some good, sweet, nice set would live in the country area and outside of Port-au-Prince. And there's some good set live in Port-au-Prince too. But I ain't concerned about them. They got their land. I'm concerned with a bad set that's coming here. So if the good and the bad come in, we need to close the door. If flies and butterflies coming in your door, you need to close the door. Yeah, you like the butterflies, but the flies coming in too, and none belong inside. We got these evil people like Luby Georges and Fred, them who don't even believe in God. All right? And then Luby don't believe in God. Fred don't believe in God. And they are fighting to break down our society. For these illegal people to come here, it's wartime, y'all. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good night, Mr. Man.
Good night.
I was just wondering, why we paying tax? I mean, why we paying VAT and all that stuff and nothing's being done about it? I mean, it ain't going to the right thing, so why pay? I don't understand why we're still trying to pay these people for not doing their job.
You said, I couldn't hear you too good. You said, why are we paying VAT because?
No, I'm saying, why are we paying VAT and it's not going to the debt? We paying them.
Oh, it's not going to the debt. Because VAT was never about debt. You see, politicians just say something to justify what they're doing, whether it makes sense or not, because they know that all of their supporters are so stupid that they're just going to go along with it because their party says it. They're not going to say that, no, there's something wrong here. They're not going to act like intelligent creatures who care about their country and say, no, Perry Christie, what you're doing, we're on to you. So they know that their supporters are going to support them no matter what they do, good or bad. Brave is taking advantage of that right now. He knows that there are PLP trolls who don't care about this country. They care about their party for some reason. And no matter what he does, he has a group of people that's just going to just support him no matter what. And so when Perry comes and says, all right, we won't put VAT, but we got to pay down the debt, they start talking how big the debt is and this kind of stuff. And they start making it look like a big, serious issue. And then when they say we got to pay down that debt and we got to do VAT, then we say, okay, since we got to do that, then let's just go along with it. Because we are a passive, docile set of people. And they keep us ignorant and stupid so that we just go along with whatever they say. The truth of the matter is, whatever the politicians are pushing, you should be against. We should wake up now and realize that they are doing nothing to benefit us in this country. Whatever they are saying, you know that that is not the truth. You are right.
Why don't we boycott it? I mean, in general, because if, like, let me give you an example. If you have, let's say, holes in the road, we could boycott our driver's license and boycott our license for vehicles and make them force them to pave the road. What I'm trying to say is we need to stop paying taxes until they get they act together.
Yeah.
That's one way of attacking the government to do better.
We have to do that. If a mass amount of people do it, then it's going to work. If a mass amount of people do it. But if a small amount of people do it, it won't work. It's simple as that.
I'm from Abaco, and I've seen it down in Oaktown. The homeowners there got together, and they just say they're not paying taxes, and they got all their goods paid.
Awesome.
All of them in Oaktown.
Wow. That is awesome. And that's how we need Bahamians to stand up.
I think the Bahamians need to get together and do this.
Yeah.
It don't have to do it with big numbers, though.
Yeah. I will tell you this. If Bahamians had stood up, for example, with BC, when they said they were going to raise the fuel surcharge, knowing that that's only going to Frankie Wilson and Focal and the rest of them, if Bahamians had stood up and said, well, we're not going to pay our bills, we can hold on to this money and we ain't going to pay it, they would have changed their mind quickly. But Bahamians are a soft group of people.
Yeah, well, I know it's like...
It didn't have to come in the streets, you know. All they had to say was, everybody, don't pay your light bill this month. And watch them. That's all. That's all. Thank you, man. I appreciate your call.
No problem.
Yeah, so we're going to have a clarion call, have a meeting coming up on Monday. So I guess by Tuesday, I'm going to let you know exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to let you know we are going to go into that shanty town and we are going to bulldoze it. All right, we're going to bulldoze it. The owner of the land was away. She was off island. She had a family emergency. And so I wasn't willing to go in there without her because it's her land. She did a power of attorney, but I wasn't fooling with the power of attorney. I'm not going there without her. That's her land. And so she has to give instructions. And so we're going in there and we're going to take a stand. The rebellion begins. The revolution begins. The evolution has begun. We're going to take a stand. Since the government don't know what to do, and since they're lying on this, what do you call that, this injunction, when they could have just appealed it, or they could have taken the new people who have started from those Chinese who have done new stuff. They could have taken them to court and said, "Listen, the new buildings, shut them down." But they didn't want to do that. You see, because they wanted this from the beginning. Wake up, Bahamas. Wake up. While we're on that, I just want to congratulate Miss Aisha Bowe. Aisha Bowe is going to be the first Bahamian to actually go to space. It's a woman. Bahamians are doing great things all over the world. There's a lot of Bahamians around the world just like this. And we want to build the Bahamas to bring them back home. We want them to be proud to do things here in the Bahamas. But she is going to space. She's going to be the first Bahamian in space, and we are so proud of her and what she has accomplished. And so, congratulations to you. You see, this violence that's caused by illegal immigration is our biggest problem right now. And I said that in my speech in Freeport. You didn't get to hear it. Do you know what you're looking at? This is a man with a gun in his hand. I didn't want to play the video. All right. But this is a man with a gun in his hand shooting up a house. That's Louis George's house he's shooting. This is a Haitian young man. And he's shooting up Louis George's house. This is Louis George's house. And this man is shooting up, this Haitian is shooting up Louis George's house. He's since been arrested. One of the problems with illegal immigration is it contributes to crime. Because you have a people who are outcast in the society who turn to a life of crime. The children that are born, a lot of them turn to a life of crime. Not all, but a lot of them turn to a life of crime. And then there's this drug cartel that runs from Colombia. A lot of Haitians have gone to Colombia. From Colombia to Haiti to the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos to Florida. And they now have money. They are buying up land now. They're not just squatting on land. They are buying up everything. Bahamians are not going to be able to compete because Bahamians can't afford land right now. Because everyone else has access to land except us. And that's the last thing I wanted to show you as we talk. Where's a picture I wanted you to see? Make sure we have that on here. There's a whole entire key. Yeah, that's what I said. A whole key that was recently sold. I want to do some maths for you. For those of you who are still on here, I want to do some maths for you. When I say a whole key, I mean a whole key was recently sold. Recently. Now, a lot of keys have been sold, but this one is recently sold, and I want you to see this. All right? I want you to see this. I'm going to put it up right now for you. Put it up right now. This here is a Facebook congratulatory message this is Bahamas Realty. They sold a whole key. The whole thing. This is low key. Low key. They sold this whole entire key for $1.1 million. Now, y'all stay with me now. Max time. $1.1 million. So while the Haitians are just taking our land, kicking our people off our land and just taking it, just robbing us blind, and the government ain't want to touch them, you have another set of people taking our land too. This is a whole key, this by San Salvador. This is a whole key. They just sold a whole key, a whole island for $1.1 million. This island is 24.69 acres. So an acre is like eight lots, 8 properties. So this island is 24.69 acres. That's plenty land. So that's almost 200 pieces of property. All right? For $1.1 million. Let's do the maths. Y'all hang with me and let's do some maths tonight. All right? So that whole island was sold for $1.1 million. That island is 24.69 acres. So let's see how much that is per acre. Let's do some maths. So it's 24, so it's $1.1 million. Let's plug that in, $1.1 million, 1.1 divided by 24.69 acres. That's how much acres it is. They got that island for $44,500. $44,000 per acre. They got a whole acre for $44,000 an acre. You can't buy a 50 by 100 nowhere in Nassau for $44,000. But since you don't understand, I can break it down some more for you. I can break it down some more. An acre is 8 lots. So let's divide that 44,500 by 8. Let's divide that by 8. And what do we get? That's one lot for $5,500. $5,500. You see, when you break it down, you see how they're robbing and stealing from us? That is land theft, technically, figuratively. They giving our land away. This is happening all across this country. They are giving it away. $5,500 for a piece of property. So that's 200 properties. And I want you to do some more math with me. So they pay $5,500 a property, right? So do the math. Let's just say it's 200 properties. And let's say, because they turn it into a luxury, because that's how they advertise it, a luxury development. So let's just say, if it's luxury development, let's say the property sells for, let's just say what, $200,000. What y'all think? 200,000 for luxury property or a luxury development? 200,000. That's safe. If you sell that for, yeah, it's more than that. I agree, it's more than that. For a luxury development, you could spend way more than that. But I keep it low just so y'all could see something, and then I'll take it up to more than that. If those properties sell for only $200,000, that's $40 million that they would make. They bought it for 1.1 million, and they could make 40 million if they only sell it for $200,000 a property. If they sell that for $500,000 a property, which is more like it, they make $100 million and they spend $1.1 million. We don't know who owned it, but Bahamas, they asked me if the government sold it or if it was a real estate company. We don't know who sold it. We know the real estate company did the transaction, but we don't know if the government owned it or a private person owned it. But it sold for $1.1 million. And they could flip that and make $100 million or more. Because if they develop the properties, it's even more. If they build houses on them, they can make even more. If they build multi-million-dollar houses on those properties, they could sell them for $2-3 million each. And all that is beach. So let's say $2-3 million each. Let's say $3 million. And let's say they do, because it wouldn't be the 200, because you wouldn't put $300 million small property. Let's say they do 100 of them. Jesus. That's $300 million. And they spend $1.1 million for the property. They're giving this country away while y'all promoting PLP, F&M. And this been happening for years. My Lord. My Lord. My Lord. I don't know what else to say, Bahamas. Hmm. They can make 100, 200, $300 million for what they spend $1.1 million for. Esther said, what are we going to do? We're going to take our country back. We're going to take everything that belonged to us back. We're going to take back everything the enemy stole from us. We're going to put Bahamians first. Jesus. So their strategy is going to be to attack me, to vilify me, to try to turn the Bahamian people against me because I'm educating the Bahamian people. I'm going to fight till my last dying breath. So stay tuned. On Tuesday, we're going live again. We're going to let you know exactly what we're doing, how we're going to do it. But we're going into that shanty town and we are taking that back. So they were already warned. Letters was put up in Creole for them previously. We are taking it back. So we're going to put a clarion call out there. Like I said, if you want me to go with myself, again with myself. But if you're willing to come as Bahamians and stand up, let's go stand up. Let's do what we got to do. We losing this country piece by piece to these crooked, corrupt, evil leaders. It's time to stand up. All right? So if you're able to, push some stars towards us. I ain't see no stars today. I see any stars today. But yes, we had some stars. How we missed them? Thank you for your stars. Golden Goddess, you sent us some stars. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Um, I couldn't see who else sent the stars. How do I see who sent the stars? We getting used to the star thing, y'all. Let's see if we could see who else sent stars. Let's see who else sent stars. Let me see if we can see how much of our people, are looking out. Come on, let's see who else sent stars. How can I see who sent stars? We figured out. I wasn't paying attention earlier, but for everyone who was sending their stars, because I was looking at the software. I was looking at the software. Um, I see Sherelle Ali McIntosh keeps sending me messages. She had asked me to speak. She had asked me to speak on some symposium she wanted to have on the Crown land. And I told her that, I was willing because they had done another one before. They didn't get much traction. So I guess they felt that if I'm speaking, they'll get some traction. So I told her I don't mind, talking on Crown land. I don't have a problem, working with anyone. And then we went to Rawson Square to deliver some letters to our members of parliament, which is in our constitutional rights. And we were attacked by the police. And the police did some things that, in our opinion, was ultra vires of the law. And Ali McIntosh used that opportunity to, instead of standing with us as activists, she used that opportunity to attack us. She says that we were out of order for our behavior and what we did, and you have to do things within the law. That's not exact words, but because that's basically what she was saying. If you are a organization that believes in the Constitution, you should know that the Constitution is there to protect the people, not the powerful. The powerful can protect themselves. They have all the means to protect themselves, even if they have to hire their own army and hire their own army of lawyers. The Constitution and the rule of law is there to protect the common man from those who are powerful. And anyone who is just and righteous, who saw what happened out there would have supported the people. And you can't tell me that you believe in the Constitution and you feel it was right to do what you did and say what you said. And so, no, I will not be speaking at that. I am not interested. We are interested in fighting with those who are ready to fight to protect our Constitution and fight to protect the people of this country and put us first. We are not slaves, and no one will crack whips and control the Bahamian people. We will take your whip from you and we will whip you. We are going to stand up as a Bahamian people. Enough is enough. We have been too soft for too long. And we are going to stand up. Enough is enough. Oh, if the police tell you move, just move. The police cannot just tell you to move. Police are creatures of instructions. There must be a complaint. You can't be sitting on the bus stop and the police come and say, listen, get up off this bench. Let me sit down. He has no power to do that. The police can't just come and kick down your door and say, listen, get out of this house. We're going to just search your house. Oh, I need a microwave. Come, just give me this microwave. They don't have all power to do whatever they want to do. You can't be standing on the bus stop and the police come and push you in the road and say, get out of the way. I don't want you on this bus stop. Go in the bus. What kind of nonsense is that? It's time for us to stand with who is standing for us. I'm not standing with the weak anymore. I'm not standing with political prostitutes anymore. We got a country to save. And if you are not here to stand up to save this country, then you sit back and you sit down and shut up and watch the people with courage stand up for this country. But don't get in our way, because you are with us or you are with them. Them meaning the oppressors. We are going to stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. We did our 2 hours today. We're going to keep you informed. Thank you for your stars. All of you who gave stars today. I was on the software, so I couldn't really see who all did it. I just want to shout out all of you who gave stars. I see our chairman, Charlotte Green, gave us some stars. Thank you, Charlotte Green. Thank you. Oh, I can see some. Brunel Ferguson sent some stars. Thank you, Brunel Ferguson. Thank you so much. Oh, now I can see him. Golden Goddess sent some stars. Thank you so much, Golden Stars. Anishka Rose sent 50 stars. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Charlotte Green sent 50 stars. Okay, y'all been starring us up today. I remember we get 1 cent for every star you send. So if you send 50 stars, that's 50 cents. And so that's what we'll get. So thank you so much. Let's keep doing this as we go live. Even after the live is finished, you can come back, go to the same live, and it will let you give stars on the live even after it's finished. All right? So thank you all so much, all of y'all who have been doing it. Jillian Bartlett gave some stars. Thank you, Jillian Bartlett. We appreciate that. Let me see if I can see anyone else. Thank you for the stars. We appreciate it. Which Veronica? Veronica gave stars? Jillian Bartlett. They say Veronica was giving stars. Oh, Marco Woodside gave some stars. Thank you so much. Okay, let one last. Let's look at international number. Let's see what this international number is. Good afternoon. You're live. Good afternoon. You're live. Oh Lord, that's a robot call. All right. So, Daphne McKenzie seems to have a diamond for top. I think that's top fan. I see Sean Net is a top fan. Oh wow, we got some top fans in here. Thank you all so much. We got to start recognizing y'all. Anishka Roll is a top fan, and Anishka Roll sent some stars. Yes, I can see it now. Marco Woodside did. They also shared. Sean Tinkle, they shared. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep on this mission. We're on a journey to the new Bahamas. We're on a journey to save this Bahamas. The enemy is coming. The enemy is at the gate. The enemy is coming over our walls. And we have to unite together. We have to put aside politics for now. Put aside PLP, put aside FNM, and let's just be Bahamians. We have to unite as a Bahamian people. We have to unite as a Bahamian people. We have to unite. Again, we don't hate Haitians. We don't hate Chinese, Americans. No, but we got to protect what's ours is ours. Don't you think America's going to protect theirs? And they want them to. That's theirs. They're going to protect what belongs to them, and then they're going to protect their people. Watching a documentary on Qatar the other day and how they operate in Qatar and the immigration in Qatar. And a woman who was from India is living in Qatar, and she wanted to do a business. She's in the water business. She had to give 51% of her company to a Qatari. That's the law there. And the WTO been trying to get them to stop that law, because if you want to do business in Qatar, it got to be partner 51% with a Qatari. And so she did that, and she said, well, you just give them something every month. They'll tell you what you have to pay them. But that's how Qataris benefit from every business in the country. You got to go find a Qatari to sponsor you to do business in that country. And the WTO been trying to stop them, and they told the WTO, go to hell. We are empowering our people, and with business going on, Qataris will benefit. And she says, she happened to got a good one, and that's good, because she said, if you have any dispute or any legal issue with a Qatari citizen, listen, their word has way more weight than yours. They have all to say in their country. Their government looks out for their people. As far as they're concerned, you could go home. Get lost. When I heard her say that, and she said she had no problem with that because it's their country. But when I heard her say that, it reminded me of the Bahamas, where every foreigner have rights and no Bahamians have rights. Bahamians now don't even have rights to go to the House of Parliament and deliver bills, deliver documents to their members of Parliament. We need change. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot on the plate. I'm sorry I couldn't cover everything today, but we got a lot more to talk about. See you all on Tuesday. We appreciate it, of course. And as I always do, I'm going to leave you with some powerful, powerful videos that you need to pay attention to, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because it's wartime, and we got to transform this country. And the only way we're going to transform this country is if we come together and we be the change that we want to see. Change ain't coming. Change is here.
Grand Bahama is getting ready for war. They are structuring the troops to take back Grand Bahama. If these political organizations believe these people stupid, they going to see real soon. No one want a government to fail. But the government should never ever make the citizens feel like they stupid.
The 5th of November. Guy Fawkes Day is a powerful day because it was the day someone decided to rebel. They was tired of the system. They was tired of the abuse of the government. And they said they wanted to do something to make a change on that day. They made a poem about it. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. And so, ladies and gentlemen, they made Guy Fawkes Day to vilify an actual revolutionist.
Change ain't coming! Change here! Change is here. This is not your mother's or your father's generation. This is a generation of change. Y'all be blessed to be safe. The gatekeepers, along with the coalition leader, Lincoln Beard, Freeport, Grand Bahama, the paradise of the Bahamas, the jewel of the Nile, the envy of the world. Timothy Gifty said, mark the man of your bearings. Your bearings envy the world. Now it's time to change what Timothy Gifty saying. We got Lincoln Beard. It's here, not for me, not for you, for another generation. Let's change this. Y'all be blessed and be safe. Yeah. Come on, my side. I don't know what that is, John Vernon. That's the generation of the past. This is not my father's or my mother's generation. I say to y'all, join this generation of no heat, but just coolness, along with Lincoln Beard, the Coalition of Independence. This is a generation not for the fake rep. What you say about that? What you say?
I agree with you 100%.
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book. Only number one.
I hear he doesn't ride in a convoy.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history, who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care, look at your road system, look at your highway system, look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. Yes, sir. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, no, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. Here on now.
Are you all ready and willing to go? It is important.